Did I ever tell you the story about the time that my PlayStation account was hacked back when I was still playing on the PlayStation 3? Now, I could have sworn I told that story and haven't looked back at my old storytime videos to see if I did. Now, if I did tell that story, then I'm sorry for retelling it again, but if I didn't, then okay. Now, I have told stories regarding PlayStation many times, and especially getting hacked or almost hacked on stuff. And this is another one of those times where I took the L for this one because of my big ass mouth. And before we get into this video, hit that like button. So this story time takes place several years ago, and like I said, this was when I still had the PlayStation 3. You see, I have had my PlayStation account since 2015. Yeah, that long. But this account, the Zendir Heartfire one, it's had a lot of great memories and a lot of bad memories too. This was one of those things that I always cherished for so long that I never wanted it to be taken from me. I know some people would make new accounts just to get away from all the bad shit that happened and that they wanted to forget the past. But for me, I couldn't really bother to move away from something that was my first account. And one day, something happened that made me never forget this. So I was on my PlayStation 3 playing some COD 2 multiplayer, and it was just a normal day as usual. And let me tell you, this was almost the end of the year. I ended up in this lobby, and there was a lot of people with microphones. Usually I end up in a lobby with people with barely any microphones and lobbies where nobody had a mic. But this one had more people with mics, which meant there was going to be someone there that's toxic and saying a lot of rude shit. And sure enough, there was this one person, I don't remember his username, but I'll just call him Jimmy. So Jimmy was one of those people in the lobby that was talking shit and just wouldn't shut up. And then this guy starts to poke at me and says, "Hey bitch, get ready to get fucked in the ass, cause I'm gonna be winning all this." And I ignored it and I was like, okay, I'm gonna shut this guy up when I start shooting at his ass. And then the match started and it was on Nuketown and it was one of my favorite maps. And that's where this whole thing starts to get interesting. So the match had only started for like a few seconds and I started to see names of people getting popped up like every few seconds. And they were mostly killed by Jimmy, but not a single pop-up had Jimmy getting killed. And when I saw him and I shot at him, he didn't even get hit or die once. And that's when I came to the conclusion that this guy is hacking, is he? And I knew he was because every 3 matches he would win, and it would just annoy me and everyone else. But it would just annoy me the most. And this is where I got to the point where I would just lose all patience. And I said to this guy, "Hey man, stop using those fucking hacks. You're pissing me off right now." And then Jimmy laughs and says, "So what? I can do whatever I want. Maybe play better." And I got so mad about that. And I said to him, "Listen here, you better stop using that shit, otherwise I'm gonna come to your house and fuck you up." And the reason why I would censor that is because back then when I was young, I was extremely toxic, but I don't do that anymore. But let's just say I said a lot of slurs back then, so you could take a guess what I just censored.
Are you serious?
I'm not going to reveal what it is that I said, but it's pretty fucked up. And so Jimmy says, "Bro, really? You better not call me that again. You're just a straight up piece of shit now." And I said to him, "I'm not the one using fucking hacks just to cheat, you fucking dipshit." And he says, "Keep running your mouth and see what happens." But no, I pressed my luck with him because I didn't give a fuck if he tried to hack me. I kept screaming at him and he was like, "Okay, how about your way?" And he just leaves, and I end up leaving and just getting off my PlayStation. I was still in a bad mood about it, but I eventually cooled down afterwards. And it's only been like a few hours and nothing happened, so I thought, yeah, this guy was bluffing. But then the next day came, and this is where my fear kicked in. So the next day, that night, I decided to go on my PlayStation just to play some COD multiplayer again. And I go to sign into my account, but all of a sudden it wouldn't sign me in. And at first I didn't think anything of it, and I tried again, because I thought I had, put in the wrong information. I still couldn't get in. Now, that made me worried, and I tried everything, but still couldn't get in. Then I decided to go on my old Instagram account just to tell a few friends that I may have been hacked, but then I noticed I got, a message on Instagram. I go to look at it, and it was Jimmy himself because the message said, "Hey there, I told you you would regret it someday." And I was fucking angry, and I said to him, "Dude, give me my account back. You're a piece of shit now." And he says, "Wow, still being rude as ever. Sorry, man, you were very rude and said all that shit to me, so why should I give this account back to you?" And I said to him, "I don't need to lose this account, man. This is the only one I got." And he says, "I don't give a fuck if this is your only account. Honestly, I could just leak all your information and be done with it after all you said." And I was freaking out when he said that. And I was begging this guy not to do that multiple times because the last thing I needed was my information to be leaked, and then I wouldn't be here today if that happened. And then the guy says, "Like I said, I don't give a fuck. This is a lesson you have to learn." And he just blocks me. And I sat there on my bed saying to myself, well, there goes my PlayStation account. And plus, this guy has all my info, so I'm kind of fucked. But that didn't end there. An hour later, as I was about to go to sleep, I get another message on Instagram, and I saw it was Jimmy again. And he says, "Look, I'm not going to leak your information. I only did that just to scare you and make you realize not to scream at people. I will give your account back and remove all your info if you write a full apology to me. Deal?" And I just ended up agreeing and writing a full apology to this guy. He gives me the password and email to sign in. I go and sign in. I change my password along with the email. And that was it. And me and him never spoke again, and I don't know where he is to this day because his Instagram doesn't exist anymore, and I think his username has changed or he just never came back online. Like, I don't know where he is now, and I hope he's doing something better other than just scaring people, of course. Nowadays, I have two-step authentication on all my accounts, so that way I don't end up getting my accounts hacked again, and I don't act like my childish self anymore because, one, I'm getting older, and two, I don't want to act like that anymore. If I had never got this account back, then I would have ended up quitting PlayStation, and I would never have been able to continue this YouTube channel like what you see to this day. Like, I tend to have a big mouth because I never hold my tongue, and I will not hesitate to say what I have to say, even if it offends people. But, yeah, that's a big step. I'm still struggling with that. But yeah, that was the story about how my PlayStation account was hacked, and I ended up getting it back after making a full apology to this one guy. And the moral of this story is, don't be like me, and don't scream at people online because you never know their true intentions, and it could fuck your life up really bad. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. Follow me on Blue Sky and Instagram, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.